Hello everyone, welcome to 7.5, compare fraction factors and products. The essential question is, how does the size of the product compare to the size of one factor in multiplying fractions? So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply two fractions together, and you're going to see how does it compare to the other fraction they give you. So you have to multiply numerators and denominators like normal, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. You might want to make a number line, you don't have to, but sometimes it's good to make a number line to see where it would fall, and then you need to compare it to the other fraction. So please write down these steps. Alright, and let's go ahead and do the two examples. So the first example is 3/5 times 4/7 is blank to 4/7. So it's either going to be greater than, less than, or equal to. So let's go ahead and multiply 3/5 times 4/7. Numerator times numerator, 3 times 4 is 12. Denominator times denominator, 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, so 12/35, it's almost, 35 is close to 36. So I know that 12/36 would be the same as 1/3. Because if I took 12 out of this number and this number, it would be 1/3. So I'm just going to say that 12/35 is close to 1/3. So if I had a number line here, okay, and I have 0, and I have 1, and I have 1/2 in the middle, okay, 1/3 is going to be probably around here. Okay. And I know that 4/7, which is the number I'm comparing it to, is close to 4/8, which would be 1/2. So 4/8 would be right here. Okay. Whereas 12/35 would be somewhere around here. So 12/36 would be less than 4/7. Okay, it would be less, because 1/3 is smaller than 1/2, right? If you have a third of something, that's a lot smaller than having half of something. All right, so that's it for number one. I used a number line to compare. Okay, let's go ahead and do example number 2. Okay, it says 6 times 2/5 is blank to 2/5. And the other thing, actually, before we continue, the other thing with number 1 is, since you're multiplying a fraction with another fraction, something less than 1, it's most likely going to be smaller. Well, it's going to be smaller than 1. So it's since you're multiplying this fraction by another fraction, it's going to be smaller than if you just multiplied this fraction by 1. So that's kind of how you already knew that it was going to be less than. Okay? So that's a big indication. Just like with this one, you're multiplying it by a whole number. So I want you to go ahead and take a guess. Do you think it's going to be less than, equal to, or greater than? Okay, well, let's go ahead and figure it out. Let's do 6 times 2/5, which is the same as 6/1 times, alright, so 6 is the same as 6/1 times 2/5. So you gotta do 6 times 2 is 12, 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, and I don't need to make a number line here, because I know that 5 goes into 12 2 times, and if I took 12 and I minus 5 times 2, which is 10, I got 2 left over, so it's going to be 2 and 2/5, okay, because that would be my numerator, and denominator stays the same, right, and 5 times 2 equals 10, that's how I got 10 here. So I know 2 and 2/5 is greater than 2/5, because you have a whole number here, and, oh, wrong one, and you could have probably figured that out because you're multiplying it by a whole number. So when you're multiplying a fraction by a whole number, it's gonna be bigger. Whereas if you're multiplying a fraction by another fraction, it's gonna be smaller. All right, that's it for the two examples. You're just gonna multiply the fractions today, and you're gonna see, is it greater than, less than, or equal to? It's gonna be equal to something if it's being multiplied by 1. So like 2/5 times 1 is still gonna be 2/5. So it would be equal to that. Alright, so if you see something like that, just know, hey, it's probably going to be equal to. Alright, let me know if you have any questions. That's really it for today. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.